Hello there, cinema lovers!
Welcome to Filmstorm. Revenge is a dish best served cold, and we can savor its sweet taste together with the main characters of both Blue Eye Samurai and Kill Bill. Although revenge is the main theme of both productions, it is not the only recurring motive. It can be said that Blue Eye Samurai, despite having many references to famous productions, such as spaghetti westerns or Kurosawa films, was created to rhyme in many respects with Tarantino's film. This is evident even in the titles of both productions, Kill Bill and Blue Eye Samurai. This rhyming pattern makes them easier to remember, and they remain in our minds long after we have watched the films. If you are curious about other aspects that bring both productions closer together, stay tuned.
As we have already mentioned, both films are about revenge, which, interestingly, is motivated in a very similar way in both stories. Even though Blue Eye Samurai involves a long transformation of the main character that deprives her of hope and pushes Mizu to seeking revenge, there are certain points of convergence between Blue Eye Samurai and Kill Bill, especially at key moments in the story. In both films, we have a bloody bride betrayed by her beloved by sending assassins after her, who then kills the man who betrayed her. This betrayal is also the most important flashpoint for the main characters to start their vendettas.
Executing the revenge in both productions involves similar scenes and even, at one point, the same soundtrack. We have here infiltration through ceiling acrobatics, defeating countless opponents while looking into the katana blade like a rear view mirror in a car, cutting off limbs with knives, katana or naginata. We even witness the meeting of both heroines with one inexperienced youth, belonging to the Yakuza or a gang led by a city man daimyo. However, when we think that the situation from Blue Eye Samurai is just a copy from Kill Bill, that is, letting the boy go free, when they meet again soon, Mizu kills him along with the others, making it clear that she wants to go one step further than Beatrix.
And she does. The whole story goes one step further. In Kill Bill, we experience many scenes superficially, although they are presented beautifully, while in Blue Eye Samurai we can immerse ourselves in them deeply. For example, in Tarantino's film, Hattori Hanzo simply hands over his sword to Beatrix in a formal ceremony, while in Blue Eye Samurai we are shown the entire process of learning the swordsman's trade, lighting a fire, forging katanas, tempering them, and then handing them over during a formal ceremony. This is a process that affects the plot. It is its inherent element, and it harmonizes with the process of Mizu hardening herself.
The difference between the level of detail of the sword forging processes is probably the best comparison between the two films. It is good if a work inspired by another work is as good as the original. It's even better if it brings in a new quality. Blue Eye Samurai definitely sets a new standard both as an action-packed series and as a story that creates and develops unforgettable characters, united by a common theme, namely the resistance against the Japanese hierarchy that tries to impose particular roles on them. I personally love Kill Bill for combining tons of references and original ideas into an intertextual masterpiece, but the development of Beatrix and the supporting characters is almost non-existent. There are only reactions to the main plot twists without the transformation process. In fact, we have a storyline in which the happy main character, after a traumatic event, changes 180 degrees into a killing machine focused only on revenge, then achieves her goal and is happy again when she gets her daughter back. Feelings occur in her as if by a light switch. However, in Blue Eye Samurai, the circumstances that Mizu finds herself in are not only obstacles to overcome, but they also affect her psyche and her future decisions, as well as those around her. The supporting characters change too, due to interactions with Mizu and their own experiences.
While in Kill Bill, we only know that Beatrix is a paid assassin whose motivation and view of her future change literally moments after reading the pregnancy test. In Blue Eye Samurai, we first wonder how Mizu can be so devoid of emotions, and then we witness the entire process of her transformation, from an oppressed child, forced to deny her origins, sexuality, and then the right to happiness, and finally her transformation into the incarnation of the demon of revenge, which the Japanese call Onryo. Incidentally, a wonderfully animated scene.
Even though Mizu undergoes a transformation, it is not complete. On the contrary, it is difficult for her to get rid of what she has become. Each step towards trust, attachment, or revealing one of her weaknesses is paid for with an almost tangible sacrifice, which in fact makes her a truly full-blooded heroine who we feel sorry for and who we want to accompany until the end of story.
Well, it's not just the viewers who want to stay with Mizu until the end of her crusade. As the story unfolds, Mizu gains help from like-minded outsiders, struggling with the ruthless Japanese hierarchy. The crippled Ringo, who wants to be useful and achieve greatness, the uncompromising Princess Akemi, who has everything but control over her own life, which she strives to regain, and Taigen, a samurai from a poor family trying to raise his status.
Interestingly, none of the characters gets what they wish for, sometimes discovering along the way that what they wish for is not what they really need. This is how Ringo becomes a student of the Sword's Father, learning at the same time that sometimes even a master makes mistakes and that you cannot blindly follow him. Akemi becomes incapacitated to some extent and her teeth symbolically blackened as a sign of being a wife, that is, someone's property. Nevertheless, she receives many lessons during her transformation, learning how to use her femininity to give her owners the illusion that they are in charge of her life. Taigen, instead of striving to be a great lord or samurai, chooses Akemi, but it is too late. Akemi has already made a different decision.
Finally, we must mention the transformation of Mizu, who, thanks to the help, especially from Ringo and Taigen, and the remorse that she feels for leaving Akemi in need, begins to put the good of her friends before revenge, and thus turns from the path of an Onryo onto the right path, paved with trust, cooperation, and honor. She changes from a stray ronin to a blue-eye samurai, loyal not to the shogun, but to her friends.
That's all for today. Thanks for staying with us till the end and see you in the next material.
Bye.
Bye.